Moving on to the second game, a 4 o'clock game on Sunday.
Yeah, moving on about to how awesome I am.
The Ravens versus the Steelers, an AFC North matchup. It shouldn't be something to highlight except for the fact that I don't think the Ravens played a good game last week.
Yes.
The Steelers have been awful.
It's the Steelers.
The Steelers. So what I'm saying is, the Ravens should win this football game
by a lot.
The reason
shouldn't even be
the
close.
reason this game is a storyline is if the Steelers win this game, you have to be
huge.
Very concerned about the Ravens.
Yeah, that
you have to be legitimately concerned about
the Ravens
because I think it was one of the part of my take guy. I think it was Big Cat said that like the Ravens make a case for being like one of the teams that you can actually be confident in because all the AFC teams have been crazy up and down. Like there's not a single AFC team that you look at and go, I know that this team can be consistently good. So the Ravens kind of have a team where you go, when Lamar's playing like Lamar's playing, and Lamar's been playing like Lamar's playing.
Yeah.
How's that for a coherent sentence?
Yeah,
the Ravens are a team that you could legitimately make a case for as just one of the best in the AFC, which I think tells you about kind of like how muddled the AFC has been. If they lose to the Steelers, not only does it open up the gap for the Bengals, it completely throws into question
are the Ravens a playoff team?
I think they'll be a playoff team just because it would be hard for them to fall completely out of the wild card spot, but they could fall out of the division lead.
Definitely.
The game they play against the Browns, you weren't watching it. This is a running theme. I was. I had it on my phone.
Yeah.
And there was a legitimate stretch. I'm pretty sure towards the end of the first half. It was towards the end of the first half. There were like 4 or 5 straight turnovers. Just on both sides.
Really?
Like, Lamar would throw an interception. On the very next play, Baker would get, like, there'd be a fumble. The Ravens would fumble. It was legitimately some of the sloppiest football you'll ever see. It was a Monday night game, I think.
Really?
I'm really not sure when this game was played.
I
think it was a Monday night game, but it's not important.
So they're basically two teams playing way below the caliber that you would expect out of them.
Well, no. I do not. Are you talking about the Browns or are you talking about the Steelers?
The Browns and the Ravens.
Oh, let's just not talk about the Browns.
Yeah. No, we won't. We
won't talk about the Browns are not a relevant game this week. I don't know who they're playing. I don't think that they have a relevant game.
We are very prepared. Clearly.
Listen, I'm going to do a quick Google search as to who the Cleveland Browns are playing. The Browns might have a bye week. This would be really fun. Browns schedule. Let's look this up real quick. I said we weren't going to talk about the Browns, and now we're
talking about the Browns.
We're talking about the Cleveland Browns. The Steelers are a bad football team.
Objectively.
They've been really bad all year. They have a bye. The Browns have a bye, and then they play the Ravens next week.
This was supposed to be a quick cut, by the way.
It was supposed to be a quick cut. Listen, I'm producing and hosting. It's a lot of work. Yeah. We're back.
If you were just better,
if I was good, right? All right. Yeah. So that's just the most.
Another emphasis on how terrible Lou is and how much I am better than him.
I guess so. I guess maybe that's why Ben.
I think this needs to be established.
I think that's why Ben Roethlisberger is still playing, but
yeah.
You have Najee Harris. You have Najee Harris, who I think is a legitimate candidate to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. It depends on what Jamar Chase does down the stretch. Najee Harris is legit. He's very, very good. If you've looked at his fantasy stats, he's good, but he's also just a good running back.
He's
probably the best offensive player on that team. Deontay Johnson's having a very good year with Ben Roethlisberger.
Chase Claypool is a
decent.
Solid receiver.
He's decent.
But you also have to take into account
Pat Freiermuth is having a decent year at tight end.
Yeah.
And then their defense, it's been whittled away a little bit, but you have TJ Watt, who I think is a legitimate top 10, arguably maybe top 5 defender, signed to a long-term deal. So TJ Watt's there. You have your star defensive guy that is going to be your linebacker, is going to rush the passer.
Yeah.
I know you have other, I think Micah White still there. Someone that's good. That's like a safety. The guy from
someone that is good.
The guy from Miami. Minka Fitzpatrick.
Him. I know who he is.
Joe Schobert's not bad. They got him from Cleveland. They don't have bad players on the defense. It's not the defense that it was a year or two ago. They need to stack it up again. But The offensive pieces are there if they get like a legitimate quarterback. But
if they didn't have Ben Roethlisberger.
Back to this week.
Back
The
to this
Steelers
week.
are going to lose to the Ravens. At least they should.
They should.
The
It
Ravens
not
should
be
destroy
a close
them.
game at all.
Because I tell you what, I know that they had an ugly game against Cleveland. I do believe in Baltimore.
Cleveland's defense is also significantly better.
Yes.